Welcome into another edition of Cover One, the Film Room. I'm your host, Eric Turner, and today, as always, we're taking a look at some of Josh Allen's throws from the Week 5 matchup against the Titans. Nate is on the road, so I'm running solo, so the format will be slightly different, but still the in-depth breakdown that you guys expect. Overall, I thought Allen played well. Was this his worst game this year? Yeah, but if that's what we consider a bad game, then I think it's pretty clear that he has elevated his game. What stood out to me was how the Titans defended Allen. Coming into the game, the Bills' offense had 20 plays of 20 yards or more and 4 plays of 40 yards or more. A far cry from the issues Allen had throwing deep last year. And I think Mike Vrabel and the Titans wanted to eliminate those explosive plays. Their plan was to play coverage, drop 7 and 8 defenders into coverage, especially the deep zones, in order to force Allen to play small ball. Force Allen to work from 20 yards and in. And I'll tell you what, the plan worked to perfection. In the first half, as you'll see on the film, Allen was consistently looking deep. He didn't want to hit the short routes and checkdowns. Offensive coordinator Brian Daboll loves to script big plays early in the game to get Allen on track and points on the board. The Titans prevented that by playing coverage. Allen had only 3 attempts over 20 yards and completed 1 for 22 yards. Talk about a complete 180 from how Allen was schemed against last year when teams wanted him to throw deep. I thought once Allen was resigned to the fact that he wasn't going to be able to get those chunk plays, he settled into the plan. And that plan was to find Beasley and Diggs in voids of the zone coverages. But his timing and placement were still a tad off on some of those throws, and they led to interceptions and passes that were dropped when they should have been easy completions. Allen finished 26 for 41 for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So he still completed 63.4% of his passes on a day when the Titans forced him to read some unique coverage rotations post-snap. On the year, Allen has an adjusted completion percentage of 81.6 per Pro Football Focus, which is ranked 4th, tied with Derek Carr. So let's jump into the film to show you how the Titans defended Allen, because it is a game plan we will see from defenses from here on out. The first play we're going to start with is a 3rd and 4 situation. It is the interception by Malcolm Butler. Now, the interception is charged to Josh Allen, of course, but I would put this more on Andre Roberts because it was catchable. The Bills come out in a 10 personnel 3x1 set, and they run a dagger mesh concept. So to the bottom of the screen, you're going to have the dagger concept. If the Bills see man coverage post-snap, Josh Allen would probably be looking to the mesh concept across the middle. Post-snap, the Titans are going to drop into an 8-man Tampa 2 coverage, so Josh Allen will be looking to the dagger concept on the bottom. The first slot receiver is Diggs. He's running a clearing route. The in-breaking route or dig route is run by Andre Roberts to the bottom of the screen. As the ball is snapped, you're going to see the Titans rotate into that Tampa 2 coverage. They have a low rat defender right here helping rob any short crossing routes down low, and this allows the linebacker right here to get depth and drop to that deep hole, which is almost like a cover 3 or 3-man deep zone. So he follows Diggs deep, and you see Roberts to the bottom of the screen try to work into the blind spot of Malcolm Butler right there. And once he gets into the blind spot, he cuts inside to the middle of the field. Now, Josh Allen does a good job of anticipating this throw, but his timing and placement, it is a little off. Now, you'd like to see him lead Roberts to the middle of the field a little more and put the ball out in front of him, but he hits Roberts on the back hip. Roberts fights the ball deflected and intercepted by Malcolm Butler. So you'd like to see Josh Allen place it a little better, and it's good anticipation, but if he just let Roberts come out of his break a little more, he has the middle of the field wide open. I mean, the route by Diggs is pulling that middle defender, that linebacker, all the way deep. So the entire middle of the field is wide open, so I don't think he needed to rush this. He obviously only has a 3-man rush from the pocket, so there was no need to rush this play. I liked the anticipation, but this was one of those plays where maybe it got out ahead of him, and he really could have let this develop a little more. Now let's watch Josh Allen's eye discipline here. Obviously, he has all day to sit in the pocket, but look at his eyes, checking those safeties, checking that Mike linebacker drop into the deep middle, and he knows exactly where he wants to go, and he makes a throw to Roberts. Again, just a little bit on the back hip, when really he had him out in front for a big gain. You'll see this play later in the game. He throws it to the back hip to Gabriel Davis, and it goes incomplete. We will take a look at that play. But this is one of those plays where he has not only the time, but the space over the middle to complete this for a really, really big play. instead of an interception. All right, we're still at the top of the first quarter. First and 10 situation. The Titans are up 7-0. You see motion into the backfield into a split set with Yeldon to help identify the coverage, and it's simply zone coverage. And the Bills are going to run a spot variation. Now, typically this is a concept that is usually used versus single high cover 3 type looks. They'll try to work the 3 receivers to the top of the screen there. And that's where you're going to see Josh Allen look initially and progress through the play initially. He ends up trying to hit Gabriel Davis deep, and it's almost intercepted when really he should be hitting the check down. So on the snap, the defense drops into another Tampa 2 coverage, this time 4 pass rushers. And Josh Allen is scanning to the top of the screen to his 3 eligibles. Now he initially sets to Singletary in the flats, and as you can see, if he wanted to throw this now and get Singletary the ball immediately, Singletary probably gets a few yards, at least 5 yards, with how far this corner is in off coverage. He moves on to Beasley and then eventually to Gabriel Davis deep, when really he should probably be hitting the check down by Yeldon. It's a 4th option in this progression, but this is a really good gain if he just dumps it down to Yeldon. Instead, he goes deep to Davis, and Davis is bracketed by the Mike linebacker and then the safety deep, and the ball is almost intercepted. This is just another example of Josh being a little too greedy, looking to push the ball down the field and not work underneath early in the game or in that first half. On the snap, he sets to Singletary. That's his first option. He then looks to Beasley, working through his progressions just fine. Now he gets to the 3rd option, Gabriel Davis, but he's covered. All he has to do is move on to his 4th option, and that's the check down. That's TJ Yeldon. If he does that, he doesn't have this near interception down the field to Gabriel Davis, a guy who was bracketed, a guy that had 2 defenders on him, and Josh Allen was lucky that this ball wasn't intercepted. All right, still in the first quarter, 11:46 on the clock. First and 10 situation, the Titans are up 7-0. The Bills motion Croft into the formation. They are in 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and 1 running back. They run a deep play action throw to Stefon Diggs from under center. So a traditional play action pass from under center. And they really push the ball down the field on this play. So you get the play action fake to Singletary. And a lot of times the Bills will run speed outs to Diggs and the other receivers. Usually Diggs in these nasty alignments, these tighter alignments to the line of scrimmage, will run those speed outs. Well, here he makes it look like that. And as he gets vertical on his route stem, you're going to see that defensive back open up his hips to the sideline, thinking that break is coming. You can see the pad level of Stefon Diggs is a little elevated, is a little higher. He's not running full speed. His head's not down. He's not pumping those arms, all cueing or signaling that a break may be coming. Now, with Croft coming across the formation and Knox also blocking to that side, one of those defenders that is responsible for one of the tight ends ends up rushing and is in Josh's face as he gets ready to deliver this ball. So instead of running that speed out or that deep out, Diggs cuts back across the face of that defensive back and then sits right around the 45, 46 yard line. And Josh delivers a really good throw with not only anticipation, but with good ball speed. He takes a little something off of this throw. And again, keep in mind that this throw is 15 to 20 yards downfield. So it's got to have some velocity, but he also anticipates it so early that he has to lead him and place the ball inside, but with a little less velocity so that Diggs has the ability to turn and track the ball and catch it on time. That throw is delivered from Josh Allen, and with a little push off at the top of the route by Diggs, he gets the separation at the top, and the ball's completed on a really nice throw from Josh Allen. Let's look at it from this end zone angle, the broadcast angle. A really nice play fake, but then you see Josh Allen, what he's looking at. He has 2 defenders in the passing lane. He has that defensive back rushing in his face, and he's flat-footed at the moment. There's no way for him to reset and make this throw down the field if he doesn't anticipate and take a little bit off it. So again, so that Diggs has the ability to track it out of that deep comeback or deep curl route. He does just that. He pulls the string, takes a little bit something off of it, and is able to throw it with a trajectory that gets it up and over those 2 defenders that are possibly in the passing lane, and the placement is to the inside shoulder. You see Diggs have to adjust his route at the top of the route, by sliding to his right a little bit to the middle of the field, and now he's able to catch the ball and turn upfield. So just a really nice play from Josh Allen here from the pocket after a play fake. Realizes that he is under pressure, has a free defender rushing in his face, has to get the ball up and over some Titans defenders that at that second level, but has to do it all with good anticipation and placement on the throw. All right, still in the first quarter, 9:56 on the clock. Bills still down a touchdown. The Bills face 3rd and 13 on the field. I want you to watch what the Titans do to the bottom of the screen. They bump out Kenny Vaccaro, the safety, prior to the snap, and he has Malcolm Butler stacked over the top of him. That's telling Josh Allen pre-snap, guess what? Diggs is out of the question on this play. So the top of the screen is where Josh Allen is looking, specifically Gabriel Davis and Cole Beasley on this 3rd and long play. As the play progresses, it looks like there's some kind of incorrect route being run just based on the spacing of the 2 receivers to the top of the screen. As the ball is snapped, the Titans drop into cover 3. So while they did make it look odd prior to the snap, they drop into a simple cover 3 and they play the sticks. So they don't care about any routes that are short of the sticks, really. They play where the first down marker is. And as the play progresses, you're going to see Josh Allen escape the pocket here. Now, he's got a deep drop here, and for some reason, he escapes the pocket. I'll go into that in the end zone angle. But you can see the top of the screen, the spacing between Davis and Cole Beasley is off. So I don't know if Davis ran the incorrect route. Based on the way Cole Beasley is pacing this route, it looks like he's running some type of option route versus this zone coverage. And Davis, as soon as he makes that turn to run that in-breaking route, it almost seems like he realizes he's in the wrong spot. But luckily enough, Josh already escaped the pocket. He goes into scramble mode and is able to hit Gabriel Davis for the first down. The Titans send a little twist or stunt at the Bills offensive line, and it breaks down as follows. You're going to see number 58, Harold Landry, twist all the way across the field to the right side of the screen here as that edge defender number 44 spikes inside. And that is really setting him up to be unblocked as Deion Dawkins rides or washes down that edge defender. So now Harold Landry, one of their best, most athletic pass rushers, is free. And maybe part of the reason why Josh escapes the pocket. My guess why Josh Allen escapes the pocket, I think he realizes that those routes are not spaced properly or someone ran an incorrect route, but he also sees Clowney dive inside because Clowney sees a possible chip coming from Devin Singletary. So I think he dives inside and loses the edge there. He loses contain on this play. Josh gets outside the pocket. Now I want you to watch his eyes because this is something that Josh Allen has done really well, especially when he's on the run. He moves defenders with his eyes. He looks at one receiver and throws to another. Here he's looking to Beasley as Beasley is in the scramble drill and is running towards the sideline. That causes number 35 and the safety, Kevin Byard, to flow in that direction, obviously, with Josh rolling to his right and Beasley going towards the boundary. Those guys are going to jump that route, but really he wants to hit Gabriel Davis in behind them, and I just love the placement of this throw. So while this is a very difficult throw, the placement's even more difficult because he's rolling right. His entire body weight is being transferred from left to right towards the boundary, but he's throwing it to the inside shoulder and low to Davis. And that's because if Josh were to lead him in this window right here, this defender has a chance to light Davis up and break the play up. Josh leads him low and inside, and Davis is able to frame that pass, a pass that has a lot of velocity, for the first down. So we're still on the same drive. It's 3rd and 7 in the first quarter. Obviously, this drive was a drive that Josh Allen willed the offense into the end zone. Bills have Diggs in the backfield and then motion him out into an empty set. And Josh will also motion Devin Singletary to get another look on whether they're in man or zone coverage. Now, with the defense dropping in the zone coverage post-snap, it looks like Josh Allen would want to throw it to one of these routes right here, either an outbreaking route to Diggs or the in-breaking route to Davis. But I want you to watch this from the defensive perspective because while Josh does convert this first down with his legs, what he sees unfold post-snap and what coverage he sees the Titans rotate to is really what I want you to pay attention to. So on the snap, the Titans drop into a Tampa 2 coverage, but specifically the guy I want you to pay attention to is this defender right here. He is the field defender in the slot here that drops to the deep halves. So The ball is on the right hash. This is the field right here. He's the guy rotating to the deep half in this cover 2, Tampa 2 type look. And that's important to note because a couple plays later, the Titans play a similar coverage on the apparent touchdown to Gabriel Davis. So post-snap, the Titans drop into that Tampa 2 look, but you see Josh get pressure from the top of the screen. The Titans send the slot defender to the top of the screen on a creeper pressure. He gets unblocked, and Josh is able to escape the pocket and again pick up that first down with his legs. Watch it from the end zone angle. Watch how the Titans have two opportunities to really bring down Josh Allen. One by the blitzing Kenny Vaccaro right there. And then again, the linebacker, Harold Landry, has a chance to bring down Josh Allen short of the sticks. So the Titans have several opportunities to bring down the big quarterback to force probably a long field goal, but instead Josh converts on this play. So a few plays later on 3rd and long, the Bills motion Stefon Diggs to the top of the screen. And yes, this is the touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis that was called back due to an illegal shift. I don't see it, but it is what it is. Josh Allen is hitting Gabriel Davis down the middle of the field. And the reason he does that is because he sees the very same coverage that you saw on the last play. Post-snap, this time the creeper pressure, the rusher is coming from the bottom of the screen. That corner is rushing. It is unblocked on this creeper pressure. It's a 4-man rush as the Titans roll into a Tampa 2 look. But again, watch the field defender right here. He is the guy that is rolling to that deep half. He's trying to get back, and he opens with his eyes on Stefon Diggs. Why wouldn't you, right? He opens the Diggs, and as Gabriel Davis gets vertical, he bends that route to the middle of the field. Now, Kenny Vaccaro is that deep hole defender. Generally, if this is a Tampa 2, he's going to be rotating all the way down the middle of the field. But for some reason, he plays just past the sticks, about 5 yards past the sticks. He does not continue to gain depth, and that's how Gabriel Davis is able to access the middle of the field, and Josh Allen rifles it in there for a touchdown. Here it is from the end zone angle on the snap. Here comes the unblocked defender. Josh sees that happening. He sees the rotation. Look at him scan left to right. Watch his feet, watch his eyes, watch his body posture. That is good timing. He knows exactly where he's going with the ball. By the time he hits the top of the drop here, he unleashes it to Gabriel Davis, and it's on a rope. Up and over Kenny Vaccaro. Up high, yes, to Gabriel Davis, and Davis does a great job of climbing the ladder for his quarterback. A great play by Josh Allen. A great read from top to bottom, recognizing the coverage just a few plays earlier and capitalizing on that mistake by the Titans. All right, 3rd and 15. So 3rd and long. Bills still down 7 in the first quarter. They send out 10 personnel in a 2x2 set. To the top of the screen, they're just going to run a switch release with a curl route by Diggs. And that's where Josh wants to go with the ball. To the bottom of the screen is actually where he ends up throwing it to Andre Roberts along the sideline as he scrambles to his left for the big play. So on the snap, the Titans defense simply drops into cover 3. That safety drops down into the hole right here, and they drop into cover 3. And again, that switch release route concept to the top is where Josh wants to go with the ball. He's looking to Diggs on that deep stop or curl route right at the sticks right there. You see it. There's a nice opening, but Josh is already in scramble mode. He faces some pressure from the right side of the offensive line, ends up escaping the pocket here and throwing a dime to Andre Roberts along the sideline. So he's rolling to his left, and Roberts does a good job of pivoting to the sidelines and getting into the passing lane, because as you can see, Kenny Vaccaro is right here. Now, he does have his eyes on Josh Allen and Singletary leaking out, but he's in the passing lane regardless. Roberts does a good job of pivoting to the sideline, giving Josh a passing window, a passing lane, and Josh is able to hit him along the sideline. But keep in mind, this is really the only option that Josh had besides running it. Now, he could have ran it, and he could have taken a big hit, kind of like he did in the Patriots game last year. But he stays a passer and is able to hit Roberts along the sideline. Now, let's watch a play from the end zone angle and the broadcast angle. The reason that Josh escapes the pocket here is because Brian Winters and Darrell Williams struggle to secure the right side. Thank God Mitch Morse is able to help out on that side of the offensive line, because as those two defenders lose their edge or lose the outside pass rush lanes, he's able to come in there and seal those guys off. But as you can see, Josh is already under duress. He wants to step up in the pocket, but he has Harold Landry looping right into his line of sight. But this is where Josh Allen's athleticism, but more importantly, his reactive athleticism. He is reacting to the stimuli that is being thrown at him. As he steps up in the pocket, his eyes are downfield. He senses Landry coming, and right there, he escapes out the left side of the pocket. That is just great awareness and reactive athleticism by Josh Allen. But on 3rd and 15, he doesn't want to just get out of the pocket and run. He immediately gets his eyes up and becomes a passer again. It's 3rd and long. He wants to get the ball to his guys down the field. Now, he's looking down the field. He's not looking at Roberts. Davis is in the slot, but Davis doesn't realize that Josh is in the scramble drill. And Josh is able to, again, hold Vaccaro right where he is by looking at Davis, looking at the imaginary receiver, really, holding Vaccaro, and then finding a window to get it in there to the Roberts. Look at it from this angle. Look how Josh uses his eyes from this angle. Looking upfield, holding Vaccaro, and then rifling the ball in there. Great job of getting his hips around while he's rolling left, using that core to generate that velocity, and then some toe drag swag by Andre Roberts along the sideline. Great concentration, great hand-eye coordination for the first down. Just a backbreaker for the Titans defense. All right, we are now at the top of the second quarter, 2nd and 21 situation. I like this little sequence by Josh Allen and the Bills offense. They come out in an empty set and attack with mirrored D pivot concepts. So both the number 1 receivers are running basically corner routes or out routes, depending on the leverage of the corner. The slot guys are running diagonal routes or flat routes into the boundaries. As the ball is snapped, you're going to see the Titans drop out into an inverted Tampa 2. So the safety is going to drop into the middle of the field. And Josh Allen's working the top of the screen. He's working the routes by Gabriel Davis and Andre Roberts. As they get to the top of the route, you see Roberts getting vertical, and Josh is looking to him. He's looking high to low. He is reading high to low, and he executes a little pump fake right there. And that gets the corner, Malcolm Butler, to drive on that route. He gains depth, and that opens up the route to Davis in the flats. And that's who Josh hits. So a nice little cat and mouse game between Josh Allen and Malcolm Butler. Josh Allen wins this battle, but as you'll see later on in the game, Malcolm Butler will win the war. All right, so the very next play, 3rd and 8, 11:20 on the clock. Bills still down 7 points. You'll see some pre-snap motion and shifting going on, and that's just really to identify the coverage, of course. The Titans appear to be in man coverage, and on the snap, the Bills are going to run a little play action. They're going to run a play action pass looking to Gabriel Davis to the top of the screen. Josh Allen doesn't throw it to Gabriel Davis. He throws it to Stefon Diggs as he extends the play in and around the pocket. You'll see the Titans drop out not only into man coverage, but they're defending deep, 2 safeties deep. The cornerbacks go into trail or dog technique, so they get into the back hip of the receivers, and that just forces Josh Allen to have to make a throw up and around those defenders. As the play unfolds, you'll see Josh take a little pressure from Jadeveon Clowney off the left edge of the offensive line. He slides to his left, and there's really no one open, but somehow he extends the play and is able to throw it to Diggs as Diggs uncovers and becomes QB friendly. He works back to his quarterback, and Josh is able to throw it from the numbers all the way back across the field to the other numbers. Just a great play by Josh. This is one of the rare instances where the Titans played man coverage. On the snap, they're trying to show pressure, but they're going to drop a guy out and spy Josh Allen. Again, Josh Allen is looking to his left, looking to Gabriel Davis. He is plastered. He is covered. There's nothing there. He's extending the play from the pocket, slides to his left, and then again finds Diggs all the way across the field. I love this angle from the broadcast footage. Watch Jadeveon Clowney off the left edge here versus Deion Dawkins. He sees Deion Dawkins setting him out wide, so he darts inside. I think Clowney is spiking inside, trying to get Josh Allen to escape the pocket, to exit the pocket this way, so that the spy defender can go ahead and end the play here. I think that's what they try to do. They try to pop out that spy defender so that he can make a play on Josh Allen, or maybe even create pressure so Josh creates a turnover. Josh extends the play by sliding just a little bit to his left. Diggs uncovers, and then again, the arm strength needed to make this throw is unreal. And Josh has to give credit to Stefon Diggs for uncovering on this play and being able to convert this first down. Towards the end of the first half, 3:15 on the clock, the Bills face a 3rd and 9 situation, so 3rd and long, ball on the 10-yard line. They are down 4 points. Watch what the Titans do here. Watch the corner to the top of the screen. Prior to the snap, as the Bills settle into 3-by-1, that corner drops down and makes it look like he's in man coverage. Look at his posture, his eyes, his body are looking right at the receiver, almost as if he is going to play man coverage. Now, the Bills have a similar play to what they called against the Rams on 3rd and long late in that game. It's just a sticks concept. The guys want to get to the sticks or just a little beyond the sticks and run curl routes, find windows in zone coverages, and uncover for the quarterback. So to the bottom of the screen is who Josh Allen is targeting, Stefon Diggs. After the snap, watch what the Titans roll to. They actually drop into a cover 3 look. You see Kenny Vaccaro to the top of the screen drop out and become the flats defender. And Josh is scanning left to right here. So he's scanning from the top of the screen to the bottom. You see him look that way and then find the deep safety as that safety drops out to the deep middle. But as I said, this is cover 3. So you have your defenders all underneath. These are your underneath defenders. Here are your 3 deep thirds defenders. So as Josh is scanning the field, he is looking to Beasley right now over the middle. He's trying to draw these 2 defenders to Beasley, similar to what he did early on in the game last year against the Titans. He threw a deep stop or curl route to John Brown on the numbers to the bottom of the screen early in that game. So he does a similar thing here, uses Beasley to hold those defenders and hopefully open up a window right here just outside the numbers for Diggs on the bottom of the screen. Problem is, the route that is supposed to hold this flats defender is coming as a check release route from Gabriel Davis. So the flats defender is not really threatened by that route, especially because that route's so shallow and he's going to be playing beyond the sticks. So he gains depth and is the one that makes a play on the ball here. Josh is throwing it from the left hash to Diggs outside the numbers. It's late and it's nearly intercepted. You can see the location is really bad. And that's because Josh overstrides here because his eyes are looking to Beasley. His feet aren't in proper position to throw it to Diggs at the bottom of the screen. And the ball is nearly intercepted by that flats defender. It's similar to what the Patriots did to Josh in their first matchup last year, where they showed man coverage on one side of the field, but played zone coverage on the other, and Josh threw an interception down the middle of the field to McCourty. It's very similar here, but Josh has to do a better job of diagnosing the coverage here. This one, he got fooled just a little bit. He gets caught looking at Beasley a little too long. His mechanics kind of fail him here, and the throw is off target. You can see the throw is off target here, and it's nearly intercepted. Early in the third quarter, they are faced with a 1st and 10 situation, ball on the 3-yard line, so they are backed up, down 11 points. I loved what the Bills did after halftime, and that was targeting Cole Beasley in the slot. With the Titans playing as much zone coverage as they showed in the first half, especially cover 2 in Tampa 2, you got to find Cole Beasley, their zone beater, wide receiver, and they do that right here as they are backed up in their own end zone here. On the snap, what you're going to see is the corners to the bottom of the screen are keying run, as is this linebacker into the boundary to the top. The Mike linebacker is immediately gaining depth into that Tampa 2 look post-snap as these safeties drop out. So those defenders are keying run. And so the Bills came out and said, you know what? Well, if you're going to key run, we're going to show you a key run right here. It's going to get that slot corner to step up, and then we're just going to run a little option route behind it. And that's what they did frequently on that first drive out of the half. As that slot corner was keying the run, as the Titans dropped out into that Tampa 2, he is that B-gap defender. He keys run. We find an option route behind it. You see exactly that here to Cole Beasley, and the Bills did it several times on this drive. All right, 1st and 10 situation halfway through the third quarter, 7:40 on the clock. The Bills are still down 11 points. So to stretch that zone defense of the Titans, they go into an empty set and run their slot fade concept to the top of the screen. They're going to hit Cole Beasley on an option route over the middle. Dable did a good job in that second half of isolating Beasley against linebackers and defenders that really are going to struggle to cover him. Post-snap, the defense is going to be pattern matching. So the slot corner right here and the safety are pattern matching Beasley. Based on his route, they will match the two routes right here accordingly. Anything short by Beasley will be the responsibility of this linebacker right here. And that's exactly what happens. Watch Beasley pace this route, sell the two-way go right here, and then he accelerates across the face of Evans, the linebacker there. Just too easy. If you're going to play these zone coverages and pattern matching coverages that protect you deep, the Bills are going to just empty it out and find their best matchup on these option routes, and the Bills did a ton of this in the second half. You see Josh Allen pointing out the Mike linebacker right there. If that guy blitzes, that's going to be the hot route or sight adjustment if Evans blitzes. So watch the poise by Allen in the pocket here. Right off the snap, he gets pressure in his face because Brian Winters was just terrible in this game. You see him get thrown off balance there, and now this defender has a free line to Josh Allen. But Josh remains calm in the pocket here. He just slides a little bit to his left, just the slightest, so that he can hit Beasley. Now, the throw is a little low, but considering how Josh Allen is sliding to his left, that incoming pressure from that defensive lineman right at the hip and knee level, the Bills will take that completion all day to Cole Beasley. So good job by the staff, again, of finding the matchup for Josh Allen. And in the second half, that matchup was Cole Beasley versus these zone and pattern matching coverages that the Titans threw at them. You guys think I was kidding. So 1st and 10, the very next play, the Bills come out and run another option route. Now they start putting Diggs and Cole Beasley in the slots and running option routes. Josh Allen is going to target Cole Beasley to the bottom of the screen. And I want you to look at where Cole Beasley starts this route. He's inside the numbers. And on the snap, as the Titans drop out into another cover 2 look, a Tampa 2 look here, it just spaced differently. They ran this Tampa 2 in a multitude of ways, but it ends up being Tampa 2. Beasley is now pacing that route, but look at him widen that route to just about, half a yard outside those numbers, maybe a yard outside those numbers. And what that does is widen that defensive back. He widens out to the numbers, takes a quick peek in the backfield, and that's when Cole Beasley gets across his face and is able to catch the pass here. So same Tampa 2 look. You see the slot player to the top of the screen drop out into that deep half. Here comes Cole Beasley pacing that route and then bursts inside for the first down. I love this broadcast angle. Watch the one-step drop by Josh Allen. Quick peek right. Now he's looking to the left. He's standing tall in the pocket, and the location is just phenomenal. Josh Allen resets his feet right before he lets it rip. He's flat-footed right there, but then that front foot comes up, and now he can rotate those hips through, and the location is upfield. I love it. It's not flat because Cole Beasley's across this guy's face, but he's also trying to get by that guy to gain vertical separation. Josh throws him up the field, and it's a nice hands catch by Cole Beasley. All right, on to the interception that Josh Allen threw in the second half here. 2nd and 4 situation, Bills down 11 points. Bills had a good drive going, obviously, here. They were in rhythm. Josh Allen was in rhythm, throwing those short passes on option routes. Well, here, he's going to target Gabriel Davis to the bottom of the screen, and Beasley's in the slot, and he's running an option route. If you remember the play earlier in this breakdown where Josh Allen was reading high to low, pump faked it deep to get Malcolm Butler to drive deep, and then threw it underneath into the flats. Well, Josh tries doing something similar here. On the snap, what you're going to see is the Titans drop into more of a cover 2 look, and Josh Allen, like you said in the postgame, he got a little greedy, and he probably could have taken the option route by Cole Beasley as he hooks it up right inside the numbers there. But as you can see, Malcolm Butler is squatting. He is a cloud corner here. If Beasley were to run an out route towards Butler, Butler's going to jump that route. And that's what Josh is thinking. Josh is thinking, based on what Butler is doing right now, where he is inside Gabriel Davis and releasing Davis up the sideline like normal cover 2 rules, it looks like he's going to jump that out route. Well, guess what? Cole Beasley isn't running an out route. Because of Butler's leverage and how he's playing this route, that option route gets converted into a curl or stop route there right on the number. So Butler doesn't have to hang low on that out route. Instead, he can get deep and pick this ball off. Josh was fooled on this play. Butler did sell it really well. He didn't jump that route by Beasley, and good thing he didn't because Beasley wasn't running it out. But Josh could have easily just taken that curl route to Cole Beasley. Even though it's a throw from the right hash to the numbers, Josh can make that throw. He made this throw several times on this drive. Should have just taken the route to Beasley. Instead, he throws a line drive towards Gabriel Davis, and Butler is able to recover. You see him right there, gain depth, and pick off the ball. And to add insult to injury, he returns it all the way into the Bills' red zone. The tackling right here is horrible. They're not able to bring him down. And Josh Allen's actually the one that brings Malcolm Butler down right here. Look at him throw Kenny Vaccaro at the end of this play. Vaccaro goes flying into his own linebacker, and the Titans are in business at the 11-yard line. It's plays like this that make me love football. It's 3rd and 3. We're at the end of the third quarter. Bills are now down 18. And as you saw at the beginning of the second half, the Bills put Diggs and Beasley in the slots. And on 3rd and 3, generally, Josh Allen wants to get it to Beasley. That was his tendency last year. The Bills ran this exact same play last year against the Titans. This is one of the rare instances on 3rd and 3 where the Titans went to man coverage. But they do a good job of bracketing Diggs and Beasley in the slot. So as you can see, those two receivers in the slots are running whip routes. So on the snap, watch what the Titans do. They give their defenders leverage. So they have an inside-out coverage called. So there's a defender that can take away any short crossing inside by Diggs, and they have a defender on the outside covering any outbreaking route by Diggs. Same thing with Beasley at the bottom of the screen. There's going to be a defender that has outside leverage and a defender that has inside leverage. So both of those receivers are blanketed and covered. There's no way Josh can get the ball to those two receivers. And so he's looking at Diggs now. That's taken away. He's looking at Beasley now. He's taken away. And so he has to move on to his third option, but he has to extend the play in order to get to that third option, and that's Gabriel Davis on the in-breaking route behind Cole Beasley's whip route. He's able to extend the play just long enough and then throws to Gabriel Davis for the first down. Good pocket presence by Josh Allen. Good job of extending the play from the pocket and hitting Davis over the middle. All right, this is fun, so watch this. On the snap, the Titans are only sending 3 rushers. And let's start with Jadeveon Clowney on the left side of the screen versus Darrell Williams. He's going to use a cross chop and then arm over to pressure Josh Allen to his left. Watch this move that Clowney executes. So here comes a cross chop right there, and then the arm over. It's so smooth. It's so fast. And a guy like Darrell Williams, when he's punching with 2 hands right here, there's just no way that his feet can recover. He's not that athletic. This move gets Clowney the soft edge right there. Now he's got to bend and flatten to the quarterback. So the other side of the screen, take a look at what the edge rusher does to Dawkins. He just drives inside, and that helps Josh Allen and the Bills here. With Dawkins riding him inside and getting a little help from Ford, Josh is able to bypass Cole Beasley, slide to his left, and then find his next target, and he's able to hit Davis, of course, over the middle. So the cat and mouse game by Mike Vrabel and Brian Dable was fun. The cat and mouse game by the wide receivers and linebackers and secondary plays by the Titans was fun. And then, of course, the cat and mouse game and match between the pass rushers, only a 3-man rush. But they're able to get pressure on Josh, but Josh is able to extend the play and pick up the first down. Okay, 1st and 10 situation, top of the fourth quarter. Bills are down 28-10. This is a play I alluded to earlier, and the throw that Josh struggled with in this game. It was one of his better concepts last year, and that's the dagger concept. The Bills are in 11 personnel, and they come out in a 2x2 set. They have Croft in the backfield as a sniffer or H-back, and they're going to run a little play action, but Josh is going to try to target Gabriel Davis, the number 1 wide receiver, to the bottom of the screen. Post-snap, the defense drops into a cover 3. They send another creeper pressure, so they drop out Clowney to the top of the screen right here. He drops out into the flats. Their slot corner blitzes from the field. Still a 4-man rush, but they rotate into a cover 3 look. And Josh is reading the hook to curl defender, the linebacker right there. If that defender jumps up and tries jumping this little route by Diggs right here, then Josh is going to throw it to Davis on the in-breaking route, the dig route behind that linebacker. And that's exactly how it unfolds. That linebacker, that hook to curl defender jumps Diggs' route right there. Now there's a nice window for Gabriel Davis, but the ball is behind him and it's dropped. This is a throw that, like I said, Josh, he completed this a bunch last year, and I was surprised to see him struggle with this, throwing to his left and throwing to his right to these players. Now usually that's John Brown that is running that route, but still, even if John Brown's in there, he's faster. That ball would have been pretty far behind John Brown as well. Here it is from the end zone angle. Josh takes a snap, quick play fake. Devin Singletary with a good job of picking up that slot defender rushing right there. Good recognition after that play fake. Now watch Evans drop to his hook to curl area. He widens, and so does this linebacker right here. And you'll see a nice window open up for Josh. Josh is looking at Evans right here, and then he just rifles it down the field, and it's way behind Gabriel Davis. As I said from the top, Josh was a little off. He processed pretty well. He was trigger shy in the first half. In the second half, he was better, but his placement at times was a little off, especially on this dagger concept, this in-breaking route down the field when they needed a big play. All right, guys, final play of this breakdown. We're going to end on a good note, the touchdown pass to TJ Yeldon. 2nd and 10 situation, top of the fourth quarter, 28-10. So Bills are obviously down, and they run what looks like to be their option route to Cole Beasley in the slot on the bottom of the screen. Post-snap, the defense drops into an 8-man Tampa 2 coverage. So there are defenders all across the field, and Josh gets all day to process the coverage and find an open guy. Now he slides to his left and unleashes a bomb from the 30-yard line to about 7 yards deep into the end zone to TJ Yeldon. And you can see Yeldon, he was open from the jump, but Josh is trying to get the ball to Beasley on that option route, and so he is zoned in to the right side of the field. Now once he goes into scramble mode, now he could have easily hit Beasley right here, right? But no, this is Josh. He's down 18 points, top of the fourth quarter. He wants to score quick so that they can try to get the ball back. So he bypasses Beasley here and rifles it to TJ Yeldon in the back of the end zone. Just a spectacular throw from Josh Allen. It's an even better throw from this angle. Look at the time that Josh Allen has. He has over 6 seconds to make this play work. 6.5 seconds to make this play work. Now, once he gets outside the pocket, watch how far the ball travels, and look how long it takes to get there. It gets there in about 1.5 seconds. That is ridiculous. The other thing I want to note on this play, aside from the big arm from Josh Allen, is the job by TJ Yeldon. I thought he had a really good game. Now, the Titans were in Tampa 2 coverage, so you can see this corner right here is not as deep as Yeldon, but he's breaking on the ball right here. This defender really doesn't have a shot as the ball pretty much shoots over the top of his head. The safety back here doesn't stand a chance. So the only guy that really has a chance is the corner. And what TJ Yeldon does is work back to the ball here. Look at him work back to the ball. If he doesn't work back to the ball, I don't know if he catches this. I don't know if that defensive back doesn't break that up. That is just a smart and heady play by TJ Yeldon, understanding the distance that this ball has to travel and that the defender closest to him could make a play on the ball if he doesn't work back to it. Just a great play from the Bills offense. Unfortunately, they do lose this game, but this was Josh Allen being Josh Allen. These are the type of plays that his big arm can produce, and this is what the Bills need to see more of, this improvisation from Josh Allen. It's going to be huge this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Much like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen can live outside of the script. He needs to extend plays versus guys like Chris Jones from the pocket. He needs to get outside the pocket, play off script, and make plays like this down the field for big, big points. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Cover 1 Film Room. I'm your host, Eric Turner, and next week we will have the Bills-Chiefs breakdown on Josh Allen. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week.